welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us now, we are in the Wainwright Museum with Pearl Ann Gooding, which is a professional storyteller in the town of Wainwright. And I'm sort of a storyteller, I guess, in many ways. We tell many stories on the news every single night. What's the difference between something that I do and something that you do?
Well, I think that I do a lot of research behind what I'm doing and work the wording through so that when you have the stories, and most of the stories that I tell, especially when I'm doing historical stories or when I'm doing the haunted hike, that type of thing, these are tidbits and anecdotes that people have told me. And so I take those and compile them and make them into a tellable program so that it flows from one to another in a nice, interesting way.
What makes a good story?
You know, that's a really difficult thing, and sometimes what's interesting to one person is not necessarily interesting to another person. And I think so the individual teller needs to find some type of connection. I can read through stories and hear 100 stories and nothing will click, and then one story will just get me so excited, and from there I'll start building. And yet someone else can take a story I've already heard that had no interest to me, and I can be just totally enwrapped listening to them tell that story because that story is connected with them. So I think it's a very personal connection with the teller and the story that they're doing.
Now you're a mom as well, and I know my mom is a great storyteller, and it is sometimes embarrassing. Did you ever bring your kids into your stories, and did that play a role in your family at all?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. They've been in the mall when I tell the story of the 3 little pigs. I have 3 children, and I would put their characters into each one of them. And my kids would always get so upset. You know, why do I always have to be the snotty pig? Or why do I have to be the dumb pig? But of course, that's always lots of fun to do that.
Why do you think it's important to bring these heritage stories alive in Wainwright?
I just think for people to connect and realize how rich our own heritage is. Yeah. Just everybody, and whatever you see, and you can come to Wainwright, this tiny little community, and see how rich things are here. Then you've got to know in your own community, in your own families, in your own cities, in your own areas, your stories are just as rich. You just need to look for them.
Where can we catch you coming up?
Well, I think the next big thing that I'm doing is going to be at Fort Edmonton with the Alberta Lake Encouraging Storytelling Festival in September. And then we've got the Arts Days that is going to be in Edmonton as well at the end of September. I'll be there. And then off to Newfoundland for Murder and Mayhem, stories of ghosts and that in October.
It was really fantastic to have you on the show, Pearl Ann. Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks. This has been our conversation with Pearl Ann Gooding. She's a professional storyteller in the town of Wainwright.